Hello and welcome to our basic MXIE overview. MXIE is an extremely powerful part of the Zultys experience that literally touches on every major capability of the Zultys platform. Our goal for this session is to cover the basics of how to log in and start using your MXIE client in a Microsoft Windows environment. For more advanced training on the MXIE platform, please look for our Advanced MXIE series on our website and on YouTube. Logging into MXIE. We're going to start by finding the MXIE icon on our desktops and double-clicking to launch the login box for the application. Your login information should have been provided to you by your system administrator. Please note that login IDs and passwords are case-sensitive. After we've entered our password, we're going to click the checkbox to say Remember Password so that we won't have to type this each time. Last, we need to provide the URL or the IP address for our Zultys controller so that we can connect to it. Click OK, and you may or may not see this next screen. It's where we define the role that we're going to play within the system and our location. So say you've been assigned to the operator group or to a sales hunt group, you can check the box here or uncheck it to take yourself in and out of that role. Last, we also need to set the location for our system. Because of the 911 rules and things of that nature, it's very important that we tell the system where we're physically located. Again, your system may or may not have this particular screen or this particular option depending on the configuration. So after we've selected our location, we'll click OK and we're ready to proceed. Overview of the MXIE interface. Let's begin with a high-level overview or an introduction to the interface just to orient ourselves. I think you'll find that it's an incredibly intuitive interface that you won't have any problem picking up. We'll start by looking at the top with what are known as the command functions. We have buttons for voice call, instant message, conference calling options, web conferencing, call handling options, voicemail, the address book, the call log, and the parked calls list. Beneath that, we have options for setting our present status in the system. We can show other users that we're available, not available, that we're busy, that we're at lunch, in a meeting, that we'll be right back, or that we want to appear offline. We can also enter a presence note so that other coworkers will know what to expect in terms of our availability and or return to the office. Beneath that, we have a dial pad. Because I'm operating in soft phone mode for purposes of this demo, we have a dial pad. If I was bound to my desk phone, this dial pad would not appear. So your system may or may not have this. Beneath that, we have roles for call handling. When we first logged into the system, we chose which roles we were going to play. Now we have a box here for each of those roles that we selected. Calls coming for my extension will appear in the top box versus calls coming for a scheduling agent will appear in the bottom box. So we'll know how to handle the incoming call. Out to the right, we have the buddies list. This is a user-definable list that you'll control for people that you connect with and communicate with most frequently. Below that, we have notifications for voicemail, for missed calls, things of that nature. Then we have user preferences and a link to control our binding, which takes us right into the next topic. Binding MXIE to a device. We use MXIE to control the flow of calls into and out of our bound devices. For purposes of this demo, we've been operating in soft phone mode, but most of the time, you'll be bound to the phone on your desk. To change your binding, click the binding link and choose Bind To. The easiest way is to bind to your desk phone by calling from the device. Click Next, and then dial the code shown on your screen. In my case, that's *27011. After a few seconds, you'll see a successful message letting you know that your phone has been bound to MXIE. You'll see that the link has changed down here at the bottom and that the dial pad no longer appears. For purposes of this demo, I want to be in soft phone mode, so we'll change back. Click the binding link again, choose Bind To, and say that we want to be bound to the internal soft phone, and then click Next. Just like that, we're back in soft phone mode. Placing a call with MXIE. We have several options in a Zultys environment for how we want to place phone calls. Of course, if you have a desktop phone on your desk, you can simply pick up the handset and dial the number just like you always have. Or if you want to use MXIE, you can click on the voice call icon, simply enter the number that you wish to dial, and then hit the call button. In this case, we'll cancel out of this call to show other functions. You could also right-click on one of the buddies in your buddies list, choose Make a Call, and be able to then select from the various options, whether you want their business, their mobile, their home, whatever's been programmed in the system for that person. You can also access the same information by clicking on the address book, choosing MX Directory, and you'll see a listing of all of the users on the Zultys platform. Again, here I can simply right-click, choose Make a Call, pick the number, and dial the party. If you've got the Outlook integration option turned on for your system, you can click and you'll see that you have all of your Microsoft Outlook contacts listed here. You can right-click on one of those and call them just as seamlessly as we have with the internal MXIE users. We also have a feature of the system known as Screen Dial, which lets me simply highlight a number on any computer screen, hit the Control F12 key, and dial that number. This works inside of browsers, spreadsheets, word processing systems, really anything that'll let you highlight a number. So as you can see, there are a lot of ways to place calls using MXIE. We've covered just a few here. I think it'll become intuitive to you as we go forward. Answering a call. We have multiple options in the Zultys world on how to answer incoming calls. First, you could simply pick up the handset on your desktop and answer the phone just like you always have. Or if you want a greater degree of control, you can use your MXIE client. When we have a call ring in on the MXIE client, the first thing you'll notice is the pop-up that appears giving us call control capability. We'll have the ability to answer, to transfer, or actually to go ahead and send that call straight to voicemail without answering the call. If we right-click on the call, we'll have another menu of options that pop up here that give us the ability to even choose which voicemail greeting we're going to send it to send it to someone else's voicemail, or to go ahead and add the caller to our address book. I'm going to go ahead and set up another call so that we can actually answer and see the options available. Now, if we'll answer the incoming call just by clicking the little answer icon, we'll see that we have options to place the call on hold. We can park the call. We can transfer it to someone else. We can record the entire conversation. Also, we can disconnect the call from this menu. Again, if we right-click on top of the call, we'll see that we have multiple options for call handling and call routing, very similar to what we had before we answered the call to begin with. You'll also notice here that we have the option to create a conference, and we'll come back and talk about that in just a few minutes. Call handling. MXIE provides us with a number of ways to transfer calls to other users in the system. In fact, you can even transfer a call without having to first answer the call. Simply take the call and you can click on the T icon and enter the user's extension to transfer the call, or you can right-click on the call, choose Transfer from the menu, and transfer the call. Or my personal favorite is to simply take the call and drag and drop it to one of the buddies on your buddies list. Now let's take a look at how to put a call on hold, how to park a call, and how to pick up a call from the Park Pickup system. We'll start by answering an active call, and you'll notice that we have a little hand here. That's the hold icon. Click the hold icon. You've placed the call on hold. If we move back and look at the little up arrow, it's the retrieve arrow. Click to retrieve, and we have our caller back. To park the call into a parking orbit, you click the P Park icon. Notice that the call disappears from your extension. We can see that it's been parked with a call ID of 1. We can now go to any phone and retrieve it, or we could click the P Park pickup icon, select our call, and then check the pickup button, and we have the call back on our extension. I should note that the main difference between the park pickup option and the hold option, when you place the call on hold, it's on hold at your local extension and can only be retrieved by someone that has access to your extension. When we park the call to a parking orbit, it's now parked inside the phone system, and you can go to any phone that has a pickup button, hit the park pickup button, or any other user could hit their pickup list and retrieve the call from the parking orbit. MXIE contains a number of powerful features related to conferencing. In this video, we're going to show just setting up a basic conference call. Let's start by going ahead and answering an incoming call. And if we right-click on that call, we can go to the bottom and choose to create a conference. You'll notice that the call handling window now changes to become an MX conference. If we call a third party and go ahead and ring their extension, we wait for them to answer. As soon as they've answered the call, we can now drag and drop them into the conference call, and we have a three-way conference. You can now put that call on hold. You can record it. We can mute individual participants of the conversation, or we can choose to indicate that the conference call will continue without us after we hang up. In this case, once I click disconnect, the call will drop. Using the buddies list. I'm sure by this point in time we've all paid great attention or had great interest in this right-hand section that we call the buddies list. Again, this is a user-defined area of the screen that lets you decide who's going to be part of your buddies list. You'll see that we have the ability to group users into groups. We have the ability to look at their statuses, and we can see their presence notes to know whether or not they're available for phone calls, chats, or other communications that we might want to have with them. To add new buddies to your buddies list, you can open your address book, click on the MX directory, and then you just simply drag and drop the users from the directory to the buddies list. If you want to remove a buddy, you can right-click on top of them and choose delete. And then we also have the ability to create new groups on the buddies list and then organize our buddies appropriately. You'll also notice that if we come up and right-click on the top of one of these buddies, we have a variety of communication options with each buddy. We can send them instant messages. We can look at a text message history with that user. We can send them emails, voicemails, faxes. We also have the ability to monitor their status and create a change alert if we want to for that user. But let's look at just sending a quick text message, for instance, here. It's a feature that a lot of people don't think they'll use at first, and then once they get used to it, they become addicted to it. It's a very convenient way to communicate with coworkers and not be intrusive when you just need to ask a quick question. You can send them a text message, and then they can reply in their own time, and it's a very productive way to work. So highly encourage you to explore the text message features of the Zultys platform. Voicemail. We're going to cover just the basics of the MXIE voicemail system in this video. To go to access your voicemail, click View, Messages. One of the screens that you may want to explore a little bit further are the voicemail settings, which you can access here in the lower left corner. If we click on that, you'll see that we'll have to pick which role we're going to go in, which voicemail box we're going in. And then we have the ability from this screen to record names, greetings, auto-attendant greetings, things of that nature. But you'll only want to use this feature or functionality if you have a high-quality microphone attached to your computer. Otherwise, I recommend that you hit the voicemail button from your phone or dial *86 from your phone and follow the prompts there to set up your voicemail box. So a lot of power here, but for now we'll go ahead and go back to the main voicemail inbox. To actually access your voicemail messages, expand the messages menu, you'll see that it's organized a lot like an email inbox here. We have the ability to look at an inbox, deleted box, faxes, things of that nature. To actually play a message, let's just expand the inbox and then click on the message and click play. The message will play, and then you can pause it at any time. There are a lot of other features and functionality here, but the basics of how to play and retrieve a message is provided for you here. Be sure to check out our advanced video on voicemail, and we'll go into more of these menu options that we see here and show you the real power of the voicemail system. But in terms of being able to handle the basics as it relates to this video, that's all we're going to cover at this time. Well, that's going to wrap up this video on basic MXIE overview. I'm sure that a number of questions have been raised through this video, and you're probably hungry for some more advanced information. Be sure to check out our Advanced MXIE series on our website and or on YouTube to learn more about the advanced power features of the MXIE interface.